We're out here today playtesting the Adidas Solematch Control. Come check it out.
Now, I'm not sure if this is a direct replacement for the old Solematch Bounce, but it sure feels like it to me in a lot of ways. Fit-wise, it's similar, has a little bit wider fit in the forefoot and a lower arch. Both were really ideal for me. And it has that bounce material in the midsole, which I really like. It provides great shock cushioning, but also feels pretty springy and responsive as well. On court, the shoe felt pretty quick and stable to me. I felt really confident moving side to side in these shoes. The traction I thought was really sticky, and personally I prefer a traction that has a little bit more give to it so I can kind of slide out of my shots. But if you're someone that really enjoys high tack on your traction, then you'll find it here in this shoe. My other knock for this shoe is the support. I felt like I really had to cinch down on my laces and use that last eyelet to get my feet to feel locked in. Otherwise, I was getting a little bit of toe jamming when moving forward. But overall, I think this is a nice lightweight, very solid and stable, and actually pretty durable shoe option.
I have playtested many Adidas shoes in my playtest career, and I'm always excited to see what they come out with next. And with the Solematch Control, I slipped it on my feet, and the first thing I wanted to talk about was the fit. I felt that the length was just a tad short, nothing for me to go up a half size, but just something I noted. As far as width, I thought it was a nice medium width and a nice generous toe box, so I had plenty of room up there. And as far as arch support, it wasn't quite hitting my arches in the correct place, so I noticed it at the beginning, but it didn't really cause any issues, just something that I was aware of, and over time it went away throughout the play test. A couple things I really liked about the shoe. The first was the durability, both on the outsole and the upper and the toe bumper. I thought it was a very well designed, durable shoe that I put 10 plus hours on, and I'm seeing zero to hardly any wear on the shoe. I also thought the shoe was very stable. I did use that last eyelet to really get that locked in feel, but when I did so, the shoelace was a little bit short, so I did have to kind of finagle when I double knotted it. The last thing I want to talk about was cushioning. I thought there was decent cushioning underneath the foot, both in the heel and the forefoot, as well as some nice plush cushioning around the ankle and the tongue. A couple of things I looked to improve was the support. For me, I felt that the shoe wasn't holding my foot in place when I was moving forwards and backwards, so I was getting a little bit of toe jam, like Jay said. And I also thought the traction was a little bit sticky for me, too sticky, where I was getting stuck at times when I was changing directions. Lastly, I thought the weight, it's a really lightweight shoe, and I thought that Adidas did a good job of balancing it. It was lightweight, but it also felt stable enough that I didn't feel like my ankle was gonna roll over at any time. Overall, players looking for a good, durable, stable shoe should check this out.
When I first took these shoes out of the box, I was super impressed with how light they felt. I also love the cosmetic, and there's some really fun color options on our website. And then I also love the sustainability story in this shoe. I love that Adidas is recycling Boost materials to make this a super durable option. Now, aside from all those amazing things, for me, it fit my medium width feet just perfectly. I did notice a little bit of extra room in the toe box, as others have alluded to, and did experience some toe jam also, but using that extra eyelet and using thicker socks or even doubling up on socks has seemed to help that issue. The more I wore this shoe, the better it fit to my feet. Super comfortable underfoot, really tacky on the outsole, which is kind of what I like in my shoes. And then again, I've been wearing this shoe for several weeks, and I'm seeing absolutely no wear on the outsole. I'm super impressed with the durability, and all in all, it's a great, comfortable shoe.
I'm a big fan of the Barricade, so super excited to try this shoe as well. This one offers a wider fit, and I also found it to fit shorter, so I went up a half size just to get the length right. I had a bit more wiggle room for my toes in this one than I do in the Barricade, and I just prefer that glove-like fit of the Barricade over this shoe. But I think if you have a medium to a slightly wider foot, you're going to really enjoy the fit in this one. Cushioning was excellent. That was the highlight for me. I felt nice and plush cushioning under my heels. Still plenty of cushioning under the forefoot, but I felt connected enough with the court to sprint around nicely in the shoe. Traction is really sticky, and this is a shoe I'm not going to slide in. I tried sliding a couple of times coming out of shots, and just wasn't working. I was getting too much traction to do that. And then the shoe also just grips a little bit too much when I'm pivoting and trying to take those small adjustment steps. So I'd like a little bit more give, ideally, from the outsole. It was very durable though. The toe also nice and durable, plenty of material up there for those toe draggers. And I've put a lot of damage on the toes of my shoes, but they're still holding up nicely as the test wears on. Breathability, I would say just okay. Feet got a little toasty, but nothing too bad. So a nice comfortable ride, but it's not gonna take me away from my barricades. That's all we got for this version of the shoe review. For more information on these Adidas shoes or anything else tennis related, be sure to head to Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.